Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Clueless 8, and this particular video cast is going to cover some aspects and some analytical tools on deciphering and understanding what I call the algo HFT charts. That's my term, um, also known as the bar charts. Now, this is part of a platform called Quodd, Quodd. Many of you have expressed interest in trying it out. I think it's fantastic because not only does it help you on every single trade that I put across, almost every single trade, but it helps the most in determining market inflection points. Remember, the biggest monies are made during market inflection points. In simple English, when the market turns up or when the market turns down. If we can somehow determine, which I tend to do reasonably well, as you all know, quite well in many cases, um, then I give out the immediate signals to go long or short. And within minutes, if not within hours, if not within days, a substantial amount of profit is made. Now, trade management is a different story. On the trade management side, you have to know how you're going to, like they say, you're going to know when to hold it and when to fold it, right? Um, so the point is that that's the old Kenny Rogers song, isn't it? So the point is that that's something trade management I cannot fully help with because that has to do with risk tolerance, has to do with the amount of capital you're playing with, trading with, what your sentiment or behavioral moods are on that day. All of these factors are taken into account in trading. And don't take it lightly, but your sentiment and your feeling first thing in the morning, depending how you entered the market in the previous, the previous day and what positions you have and how the market's opening, which in reality has very little bearing what the market's going to do, but does have a profound effect on your ability to hold on to a trade, add to a trade, sell a trade, or not sell a trade. And you and me both know that. I've been a victim of that too. I try to fight that every single day. And of course, being somebody who's been doing this for a while and somebody who has a higher risk tolerance given my understanding of the markets, and even then, the markets don't always act on my time, as we know. But the fact remains that that allows me to stick to the trade even when it's the most painful, and then come within a matter of 24 to 48 hours, take huge, powerful profits. Many cases, the markets are so volatile, as we know. Um, if you want to look at these volatility candles, these red ones are nothing but volatility candles on the downside that they force us out of a trade and then they turn around and go. Now, saying all that, highly recommend that everybody try out the Quodd. And if they're interested in getting the informational email that was sent to me that I forwarded out to people, and full disclaimer, I have absolutely no relationship with Quodd. I pay them every single month for years now, and I find it to be a very useful platform. Now remember, it's an actual platform. This is just one part of it, which is the trading side. You can have all your quotes and all that stuff. Show you quickly things like this, just so you sample snapshot. This is how it's laid out. So it's very easy on the eyes, very easy on the eyes to see what's going on. You're looking at all that stuff, percentage return. Now, this is not my personal portfolio, obviously, but it's just, things I'm watching on one of my screens. You can have multiple screens and it's just fantastic, I think. Okay. Because in a quick snapshot, you see all that stuff. I find it very useful. So I pay the monies that's needed every single month to keep it. Now, let's get into these charts here. Every single candle, okay, and obviously this is on the unprecedented crash, but every single red and green candle is telling me a story. And the bottom line is that I am now this is a daily chart. This is a daily chart. I'm not always trading off the daily charts unless I'm looking to see where we are positioned in the market. Like we are seeing right here, we position the market, we're getting overbought. We will most probably stay a little bit overbought before we correct. Now, I'm mostly trading off the 30-minute and the 60-minute frame of this, but I want to show you this, just an overview so you understand that. So when you look at it tomorrow, you'll say, hey, I understand that a little bit more. I do have a whole video cast on Algo HFT chart reading, and that's in the Clueless 8 channel. Scroll down, you'll find it. and it's also in the members area. Click it in that grid, click it, and you can listen to it. So every single candle is telling me a story. Now, lines that I draw on top of it, that's mine. That's what I do for a living. That's what my expertise comes in. Okay. So, and my cognitive understanding of how these things, are how these things pan out. So when I draw this particular rising wedge, for example, right? This particular rising wedge, that's me drawing it. Okay. I'm trying to touch as many points as possible, points of engagement, and then moving from there. When I'm drawing these downtrend lines in red, it's me who's drawing it. The machine's not drawing these things. I'm going up here, draw, and I'm saying trend line, and then I'm going from there. So saying all that, um, this is mine, for example. So the thing that you can put on the charts itself, these are automatically generated. These are the pivots. This is the pivot. They're the resistances. These red lines are the supports. Um, these lines are mine because I'm looking at previous major inflection points and turnarounds. From the top and the bottom, right? So this is a channel, right? It's very clear it's a channel. Now, the reason why it's algorithmic and I believe high frequency trading, very sensitive to high frequency trading programs entering the market, because these candles on the hourlies and even on the 30 minutes and the shorter term time frames move rather rapidly. I wish I could show you this in real time, which I will. When I set up the live trading room, you can actually see this and you can hear my commentary as I'm going through it. So these things can as time goes on and with some good training and guidance on my part, you should be able to read these candles like a robot. And I mean it, like a robot. So and then you match it in with the lower end stochastics, you can put a ton of different indicators. I like to keep it simple. You can put the COT Financial Traders Report, you can line chart, you can do the all kinds of the Bollingers, of course, um, chalk and volatility, force index, historic volatility. There's a lot of it here. So it's all up to you what you want to put in there. I use the stochastics primarily because they serve me well. Sometimes I put the moving averages, but to me, when these algos and HFTs are moving during the day, they don't really care about the moving averages. What I'm really looking at is what they're moving on. But you can put them on, and I do in many cases. What they're looking on is an alligator. I have no idea what that is. The ADX Directional Movement Index, another terrific indicator to follow. The ATR, another good one. So all of them, you can put in there, but you don't want to clutter your charts too much that you can't see anything, right? So I like to keep it simple for the purpose of this particular session and in general. So saying all that, these Bollingers are one of the most important things that I'm trading off, especially when I'm looking at it from major large inflection points. Works great when we're swinging things, right? When we're swinging trades, we need to know where we stand. Look at this here. It hit the downtrend line, which I'd drawn, and it created a green doji. Interesting. So the next point of engagement on the upside would be this green line here, this green line on the top, and that is 2098.80 or 2099. So me being a buyer at the 2070 level on the pullback and this reversal of this line here, which I had drawn, okay, right there, which was the inflection, which was the turnaround point back on the 9th of November before we moved up and fell. Okay, sorry about all these lines and stuff. Okay, the bottom line is that it hit it and it just turned. So buyers here are good for almost 30 points if the market gets to 2100. That's 30 S&P points. Pretty damn good for a trade, right? In the meantime, if we go hog wild on the way up, and again, I'm going to show you a pattern symmetry here, which is going to be pretty interesting. I'm going to give you a clue. You start here and we end here. So in between, these patterns are replicating themselves. It's amazing how these things happen. I mean, they're not exact, but they're close enough. So bottom line is that unless we break below, let's say, the lower resistance, the 2077 line. Here's an uptrend line which I drew. It's a definitive uptrend line. So that's more like around 2066, 2068 on the S&P. You're looking at the SPX here. See? SPX. So if this falls here, you can pretty much bet that you're going to see a quick sharp move down to the lower Bollinger 2038. So people who are strong swing players and not looking to jump on every little tick will say, you know what, I'm going to hold on to this on the daily chart. Doesn't mean it's not going to zigzag around here, fake you out, move up a little bit. But the chances are that if we do break the 20, let's say the 2050 level, okay, 2057 level right there, you can see it on the right side, right? That we're going to fall to the bottom end of the Bollinger. By that time, you will have a complete full reset on the stows. By that time, the panic level and the crowd in the panic room, primarily in the other forums, not necessarily ours, but even in ours, it will be at the highest. They'll be talking about all kinds of stuff. All the market would have done. Okay, let me continue with I had a little technical disruption here with this particular video cast. I was showing you the IWM, for example, and they're showing you like, look, the Bollinger is moving up. So when a lot of people are panicking and saying, okay, you know, this candle itself is end because it's a spinning top, naked bar they call it, or an inverted hammer. The fact remains that nothing changed here on the Bollingers. It's still heading higher, all kinds of stuff. So there's many different ways to read it. It's not as simple, and that's why training as well as self-education is needed. Now I wanted to show you one with stock with actual equities in it. So I'm just trying to go for it. Hold on, I'm going to close this one out. Okay, close this one out. So where are we? It's getting a little, systems are running a little bit slow today, but let's see what I can come up with. Okay, so here's a short thing of VRX, right? Now I've showed this chart repeatedly on the other side. I'm not sure why it's doing this, but you guys can see what's going on. So you can pretty much, at this point, I can pretty much see, looking at the pivots and everything, and I know this is truncated a bit, what the thing is, what the stock is going to do. I really don't care what the news is. I do care, but not really that much. I know that at this point there were massive reversal levels, and every single candle meant a very decent sum of money as it moved forward. So that's one. Give you an example on I don't know if this is Tesla or hold on. See if it can populate, because for some reason the system's just slowed down. Okay. Looks like it's not coming through, but you get the idea. What I'm getting at is that reading these charts through every single candle, that's really what the real power is key. It's key, and especially in a volatile market. In a volatile market where you're going to be trading, in some cases, reacting to large volatility clusters of buying and selling, then these algo charts are of supreme uh, importance. So that's it for now. I'll sign off, and we'll engage tomorrow morning. Look forward to a fantastic week. Stay cool, stay clueless, and be grateful. Thank you for listening.